Let's continue learning some minor pentatonic scales, and let's do the minor pentatonic expanded 2 scales. Now the expanded 2, remember with these expanded scales, what I'm trying to get you to do is to stop thinking about guitar scales in terms of just boxes, but yet combining them so you're playing across the neck more laterally. So the minor pentatonic expanded 1 combined 3 boxes, and we're going to combine 3 boxes again for this minor pentatonic expanded 2. So let's say if we're in the key of A, and remember, besides trying to think laterally across the neck and kind of, instead of thinking in terms of boxes, eventually I want you to kind of just see the neck as one big scale, right? One big opportunity, not these individual little boxes. That will help your vision go across more and not get stuck in the boxes. You also want to not let key throw you, because if you're playing in a different key, you're playing the same, intervals or shapes, but you're just kind of shifting all the patterns up or back depending on what key you're in. So you're playing the same block of scales, just shifted if you're going into a higher key, or shifted back if you're going into a lower key. So don't let key kind of mess with you. It's not a big deal. You're just basically doing the same things, just in different places on the neck, pretty much. So here's what the minor pentatonic expanded 2 will sound like in the key of A. And I'm going to play it off of the A note on the 12th fret on the A string. Okay, we're going to back up and I'm going to play the notes on the low E, but that's where you're going to grab it. And that's how you could find this shape very quickly, by just going to the root note in whatever key you're on the A string with your 3rd finger. If you want to play it in C, you can play it down here. Put your 3rd finger on the C note at the 3rd fret of the A string, and then boom, blast it. If you want, or in C, C is nice because you can fit 2 of them in. You can also play that C note down here at the 15th fret on the A string. If you want to do it in E, you're going to place your 3rd finger on the 7th fret on the A string. So that's an easy way to grab this and go. So here's what the shape will sound like. Notice I'm ending the shape, I'm going back down to end it on the A. I really want you to hear that. That's the key we're in the key of A or A minor. Here at the 12th fret, and here's the way this minor pentatonic expanded 2 shape is going to look. Now, whenever you're trying to find this on the neck, it's just, root note will be on the A string and grab it with your 3rd finger. So that's an easy way to grab this. Now, but what we're going to do is we're going to back the scale up and start it with our 1st finger, which would be a whole step away, actually an upper string, on the low E string. So we're going to actually start this shape on the 10th fret of the low E string, which is a D note. Let me play it once so you could see it. So here's our root, A. So here's the shape. And we're just going to use our 1st and 3rd finger for the entire scale. There's my root note. There's my root note again, another A. And there's my root note again, another A. Here it is up and back slow. Notice when I come back down, I don't stop at that D, I go back up because I want to land on that A. 1st and 3rd fingers on the low E string. Then go straight down to the A string, 1st and 3rd fingers again. And then on the D string, 1st and 3rd fingers. Nice shape so far. Okay, those are the first 3 strings. And then slide with your 3rd finger up a whole step, and you get to that E note. So you got so far, low E string, A string, and then on the D string, slide. Then right under that, 1st and 3rd fingers on the G string. You're playing that G, and there's our A note again. 2nd root note. So far. And then go up like a half a step, but then down on the B string, because you got to get to the C note. 13th fret on the B string, and then use your 1st and 3rd finger. And then, so you're going 13th fret, 15th fret, and then slide to the 17th fret on that B string, 3 notes. And then right underneath that, first and third finger, 15th and 17th frets on the high E string. And there's our A note again, our root note. Real slow. Slide. Root note. Slide. Root note. So work on the speed. So now you know the scale. So like I was saying earlier, let's say you wanted to play the scale in the key of C, very easy, just put your third finger on the C note on the A string, which is at the 3rd fret, and play that same shape. Again, I'm just going to start it from the low E string though, just to play the whole thing. It'll sound like this. Okay, and then build up the speed. Okay, and again, make mental notes when you hit those root notes. There's a root note, there's my C. There's my C. There's my C note, right? Eventually, we're developing your ear. Those notes should start to pop out at you. They'll really hit you hard, right in the face, as a C note, as your root note. So here's a cool little exercise that I want you to work on that's going to tie minor pentatonic expanded 2 to the box shape to minor pentatonic expanded 1, and you can get that up and down the neck, and that'll give you like 3/4 of the neck. We're going to be playing from the 1st fret all the way down like the 13th fret. So we're going to play the minor pentatonic expanded 2 in the key of C, C minor. So 3rd fret, find that C note with your 3rd finger on the A string, and you're going to play that shape, and you're just going to ascend it up to the high E string. You're not going to come back down with it. Sound like this. Okay, but what I want you to do differently this time is when you get to that high E string, instead of using your 3rd finger to hit the C note, just slide up a whole step with the 1st finger. Because I want your 1st finger now on the 8th fret, that's that C note. And then when you get up there, I want you to play just the standard box position, that box shape going up to the low E string. Sound like this. So when you get up to that high E string, just descend just at that 8th fret, 1 finger per fret, and descend down that scale. So if you attach the 2 of them together, here's the expanded 1, expanded 2. Now shift up with the 1st finger. Now the box shape. Okay. Now when you get up to the C note on the low E string, jump back a whole step, okay, to that B flat note. And then I want you to play the expanded 1 shape going this way. And ascend that, and it'll sound like this. Right? And then we're going to also descend that. And end on the C. So you see we're playing an exercise where we're combining, playing the expanded 2 into the box shape, into the expanded 1, and you're covering, look at this, almost 3/4, more than 3/4 of the whole neck. And again, I want to get you playing across the neck. And of course, like I always say, when you're playing leads and you're coming up with riffs, you're not going to be playing these scales up and back and up and back. You're going to mix things up and mix licks in and whatnot. But you have to learn the scales first. Those are the building blocks. So here it is really slow. And I'll tell you when I shift to the next shape. So expanded 2, key of C minor. Now, 1st finger shift up, and now the box shape. Now, shift back a whole step and expanded 1. And dip back down. And end on that C note. It's a great exercise, and this way you could kind of start seeing the neck as one big opportunity, one big scale. And work up the speed. you know, slowly build it, and eventually you want to be able to kind of get it to the point where you're really not thinking about it much. You're just kind of automatic, you know, like your chord changing is kind of like you're not thinking about changing chords at this point. Your fingers are just doing it, muscle memory. So work up the speed might sound like this. Practice this in all keys, and then use the jam tracks in the jam track session to start building your licks and working on taking the notes and starting to do things with them in these scales.